All right. Well, easy one. We'll start with d4 and resist the temptation to play bishop f4 here. Okay, so this is kind of standard. Again, there's no need to have this bishop out anywhere because it goes over here. Now, in this case, I've been playing b3 and bishop b2. I've noticed that lower-rated players like to play bishop b4 check. So I'm just going to play a3 first because when I play b3 and they check me, I don't actually have a good way to stop the check. Knight there, maybe they could play bishop c3. Knight here, obviously not good. And then bishop here, well, I want the bishop on this square, so. Okay. Chased you away there, did I? Knight a5. Don't know what that move is all about. The way my opponent's playing here is definitely telling me that, you know, maybe just like pushing everything might be the way to go here. I'll probably do one more kind of preparatory move. But yeah, he's really not doing anything in the center, so I think at this point it's time to go e4, and I mean, clearly, let's just push this because we want to open things as much as we can. Our opponent's playing in a way that's, let's take this. And you see how we're going to force it open, right? We would never want a situation where this gets played. We'll go e5, and hopefully you can see the intention here. Should be pretty hard to handle. But I mean, this makes sense. The guy like shuffled his knight like a bunch of times. Yeah, so queen takes e6 obviously wins a pawn, but honestly, I couldn't look at myself with pride knowing that I played queen takes e6. You know, like it just wouldn't be good enough. So I'm looking at like every move except that. Let's bring the knight in. Bringing all the pieces into the middle with tempo. We're missing one rook, but I have a feeling queen h5 will be pretty strong here. And yeah, g6, knight takes. In order to get this, I mean, I would even look at taking on g6 just because this is hanging as well, but I think this makes perfect sense. Okay. Can we do anything that's going to make our opponent here not castle? I don't really think so. Yeah, nothing too crazy. So I might play this, knight g5. Definitely not trying to play h5, although I admit it kind of looks like that. Maybe we can target this. Our queen's definitely in a bit of a spot here. This one looks good. I suppose I should probably do knight f7 just because it wins, like it actually does win material. But extremely tempting to just take on e6 there, as you can imagine. Feels like this is just a smart move to play. Aimed at the king. You know, one of those things where like good things have to happen. Maybe we could take, just seeing that there's stuff happening there. Get some trades in. Just kind of double the rooks here, and I mean the queen's in a funny spot because, you know, if you go and attack it, I can save myself. being up 2 exchanges never feels as good as the reality. Like, the reality is you're up a good amount of material, but I find that it doesn't actually come across that way. So we're kind of trying to take this. I suspect knight g4 might happen. I would certainly play that if I were black here, but queen d5, getting a trade should help a lot. And yeah, honestly, I'll probably just, I was going to say even sack for that knight, but here we win a piece. I think it's easier to take this and just kind of operate on the light squares here. You know, this is the... If we put everything on light squares, you see... Oh, okay, now we can take this, so that's helpful. You see what I mean? That, yeah, once everything is on light squares, it's pretty easy to handle. GG. Sometimes if I already know that I'm faster than my opponent and there's no moves that he can do, like, it's kind of stuck here on that side of the board, I'll just make a bunch of pre-moves because it's one way to guarantee a victory. I know for a fact he's going to run out of time first. Whereas if I start making moves, I could slip, I could stalemate. Who knows? GG. Not a bad fight from him, despite the terrible start, because I really think that he wasted a lot of time here. We didn't get to see too much. First of all, this is the system, plus castling. But usually your opponent is going to have like a pawn in the center, and then you want to get your knight in, f4. We can still do that kind of stuff, but you can see why it makes more sense to just push. The guy's got 2 pieces out on move 13. So I don't think we got the best look at it, just because, I mean, you could almost set up anything against the way our opponent played and then just break the center and it would work. So it doesn't really matter. But yeah, that's what it looks like. So keep that setup in mind. You know, at least try to remember the pattern from this game, because you'll need to apply it throughout. So at least that's still helpful. All right, we get the white pieces again. Not complaining. D4, D5. I'll start with the knight, and again, just go E3. There's no need to do anything crazy here. And okay, so we see C5 from our opponent, and now it starts to get important, the move orders a little bit. I'm not really a fan of playing bishop D3. I mean, C4 is not a big problem, but like, it's a little bit annoying. So let's say we play B3, and I'm curious how our opponent's going to react. He takes, we take, and let's see what he's going to do. A6. A6 looks like a very slow move to me, and if we keep in mind exactly what we want things to look like, I think we're still on pace for all of that. So I guess A3, bishop B2, we know where the pieces want to go, and most importantly, there's no bishop coming out there. Let's go bishop out. We want to get castled. I would say queen here makes a decent amount of sense. We could also bring the knight in and go f4, but I'm always, you know, eternally looking at knight e4, and I just want to prevent it. So let's do this. Can bring our knight in. Probably support it with the f pawn here. But yeah, you can see how the system looks the exact same, basically. Okay, knight h5. There's definitely a threat here. I think it would be our mistake to think there isn't. I'm probably going to play g3, although there's other moves to play as well. This is a diagonal that, yeah. I was also a little bit expecting that f6 might get played, so g3 works really well against that. So here we have queen takes c6, but it's more about bishop takes g6, and this knight doesn't have anywhere to go. So, I mean, another good reminder why we just don't put pieces on the side of the board for no reason. Like, he didn't need to do that, and obviously he's going to get punished for it. Here, I think it makes sense. I mean, either one is good, but I think it makes sense to take this way to maybe use the open file, and he's got no fear. He's got no fear. He should have fear, because if he had fear, he would not be mated. And it makes me think, did we have this mate the last turn? We probably did. Even with the knight on g3, I guess very technically this, I mean, obviously it's not mate because our opponent can play here, but technically this doesn't actually, like, there's no way to stop it, so. But yeah, f6 is going to be pretty bad. Okay, I mean, once again, a very quick win with this system here. I don't know how much of it you could say is like, oh, that's because of the system. But this is a really comfy way to play. I'm always on the lookout for preventing knight b4, preventing e5, and preventing knight e4. And if I prevent all three of those things, most of the time, I feel like I have a very, very good position. How does pawn a3 help? Well, hopefully I'm audible here. Did I not just say prevent knight b4? So the way I see it, a3 helps with that. Now in this case, you could argue that it wasn't useful because there's no knight there. But to be honest, if I played this and it's only not useful because my opponent's not developing a whole piece, I'll take that trade, you know? If you want to make my move useless because it's only useful if you're actually moving your piece, and so you're like, oh, I'm not going to move my piece. Yeah. It's like, okay, I'll look like a fool for playing a3 there. I don't mind. I feel like that's a good trade. All right. Okay, we're blessed. I think we have the white pieces every game this morning. All right, we see e5. Well, most important rule about e5 is just take it. Very important rule. Don't try to play like a weird nothing. No, just take it. You know, we don't need to be a hero of any sort. h5 is a rather unusual move from our guy here. f6. I feel like we can almost do nothing. I mean, taking something on the g6 square immediately feels like a very strong idea. So I have to admit, queen d3 does jump out at me. Is he playing the undefeated? No. This guy's playing the defeated. I think this is a capture moment here. I mean, it's always hard to say which one is correct first, but you know. Yeah, and this one kind of lets the king escape. This one lets the king escape. So the rather unusual queen takes and then just queen back to g6. I mean, yeah. I've already warned you guys. Okay, by the way. Okay, I actually thought that there was like a bug, or I thought I blundered my queen because the fucking animation didn't pop up. I was like, shit, what? Can this take backwards? I got scared for a sec. I said, Jesus Christ, did I just blunder my queen? Because if you think it's mate and the game doesn't end, somebody made a big fucking blunder. That's what I know. Yeah. Okay, it is a mate. I haven't lost my mind. You broke up with your girlfriend and lost to a 1400 over the board this week. Dude, I'm sorry to hear that. No one deserves to lose to a 1400. Now, people need to stop playing this this e5 move. Guys are 1000. It's not the opening for you. Every time people have played it against us so far, I'm pretty sure we've put them in the dirt in like 10 moves or less. So, good reminder. This is one of those don't try at home moves. Don't try outside your home, don't try. Okay. We go for these moves with the black pieces. Against e4, as you can imagine, it's quite difficult to set up the exact thing that we're trying to get here. Not easy to do. I mean, I kind of want to go here, but I feel like I'll start with a6. We'll castle. Yeah, I mean, definitely castling when the queen is barreling down on us there. Rook to e8 feels correct, definitely. Queen to d2, interesting. Well, knight to e4 against the queen there definitely feels like, you know, reasonably smart move. And yeah, we can still bring the bishop out like that, but we'll see. We shall see. Maybe, I was gonna say, maybe f3. Yeah, that makes a bit of sense. Kind of getting us to take there. And yeah, maybe I will play b6 just to keep the, I guess, the look of the system alive here. Okay, h4. I feel like we're just gonna complete our development here. Maybe knight e4 makes sense. He goes here. Yeah, knight e4 makes a lot of sense now, I think. Supported. Takes. I really can never tell in these spots, like, are you supposed to take with the rook, take with the bishop? I feel like taking with the rook is correct here. It's an extra trade if he does it, you know? Get our rook over, that type of thing. We have the bishop pair, so I think our endgames should be good. And obviously, because I've been attacked, I've been holding off on maybe playing this because I'm like, maybe the guy's gonna sack, and I can just do that later. So rook e8, knight e5. Is that something we care about? Possibly. Yeah, it might be smarter to just move this bishop. But let's see. Move the bishop. Maybe knight e5 anyway. We can obviously take the knight. That's always going to be on offer. Let's see. I think I will play this. I definitely think white should put the knight on e5. I would highly recommend it. My next moves are probably going to be those. Okay, and he does. Yes, we can play this, but with this move, yeah, I think this is a capture moment. Okay, we have a pawn we can take, and I think we want to do it. Just barely, I think. Mainly because I can stick this bishop back on g6. Because I don't really enjoy going back. Okay, he goes here. This one is manageable, I think. I feel like he might go e6 just because it, like, I don't know, just because it has a tactical element to it. I feel that this looks tempting just because of that, but he's refrained, which is good. It's impressive. So we have opposite bishops, but we do have that extra pawn from earlier. Maybe this one. Actually very tough to defend. I would say the counterplay is the right thing to do, and I will probably aim to stop that. The problem is I think the trade does not help my opponent, just because we have these two pawns over here. Yeah, it is opposite bishops, Should be great drawing chances, but unfortunately, with these pawns here, it's pretty tough. And wow, he's disconnected. This is probably the best position someone's had, and he's not interested in playing it. It's a bit unfortunate. Opposite bishop's down 2 pawns. I wouldn't throw in the towel myself at my rating, let alone for this guy. Okay, we're gonna play d4, knight out, support with the pawn because we always want to take back this way. I think we can get castled here. It's nice to be castled because then I don't have to worry about bishop b4, you know? So if we get early castle, let's go a3. Again, not interested in dealing with that. I'm gonna play this to stop knight e4. We get our bishop out, and I feel like we've pretty much got the system that we're looking for here. Can play knight e5 and go from there. I'm thinking about just going knight e5 right away. Queen e2 is just not really necessary. Just get that move in. And yeah, this is the whole point. I mean, if our opponent does nothing, we want to play f4. We'll see if we can get some kind of an attack going here. Ooh. Seems like a kind of a risky move there. h5. Yeah, I don't know about that one. h5. I guess we'll just continue for now. Like, this kind of makes sense. King h1 can also be a pretty useful move. He does decide to take that. Playing h5 and then taking is crazy to me. So let's see what he's got. Because knight g4, like, just seems like it almost loses. But this is the pressure you put on your opponent when you play this system. You put the knight there and you just, like, you go from there. And it usually works out pretty well. Eventually, they're probably going to take you. Interesting. That's an impressive move. Bishop to g5. I suppose we'll probably just take here because it keeps the attack going. But at least, we have a thinker here. There is queen h5 in that line, so it's becoming a little bit tempting. Yeah, it's just so much simpler to play this one. I'm also, for some reason, expecting this, which could be not so good, but actually I would say good move from our opponent here. I'm impressed by bishop b5. Just not sure that it's like 100% forced, but that's a move I think you like to see in general. Let's go here. Bishop b5. So bishop b5 also, I mean, you can see our c-pawn here has been kind of a hero this entire time. Oh, no. This is what oh, man. This is what I was saying earlier. It was like, I was expecting him to do it. Okay, obviously he kind of realized that this lost his queen there, so he didn't take it at least, but clearly bishop c3 was a huge blunder because now, well, yeah, he's just going to resign. Bit unfortunate there, but tons of tactics in this opening, so lots of places for your opponent to go wrong. As you can see, we just have a massive attack and we haven't given up a lot. Like, it's not like my center's falling apart. It's not like I have weaknesses. I'm just on the attack. Like, just only good here. but I would say this is actually the first game where we've got to see even the middle game of this system, because our opponent has played, you know, a reasonably normal way. He's castled. We got our knight in. We played f4. We played queen f3. Yeah, and at some point they're just going to be so tempted to take because flip the board and play black's position. What the hell would you guys do here? Seriously, this is your position. Just have a look. What would you do? I see no pawn advances like b5, b4. My opponent could just play a4. Like, I'm not even seeing something there. I could target this pawn, but you know, it can be defended. I might still do it, but like, it can be defended. It's not gonna like win the game. And you can't play knight there. If you play rook here and you're pressuring that, that's why we have the bishop there. And the knight can't really go there. I mean, it's not easy. It's not easy. Fianchetto the black bishop. Sure, you can do all that. That's a lot of moves, but you can do it. I might, at that point, I might just like full send an attack. Pretty scary if you ask me. What should black have done to prevent this? Well, the opening is just not very good, right? Like, black's playing an opening where he's trapping his own bishop, and then like already this opening objectively is just bad. It's a bad opening. The bishop should be outside the pawn chain. This is like basic habits, level 1. If you can get the bishop out, you should. So the opening is just terrible. It's not a good start. Doesn't mean that it's done, that it's hopeless, but I mean, this looks like a pointless move. This bishop is not, you know, developed to a more aggressive square. There's all these little small decisions. What is this? Why not that? Why is this here? Overall, it's not a bad game. There's not like hanging pieces, but there's still a lot of mistakes. h5 doesn't look very good. I would never, you know, move a pawn in front of my king that's being attacked, for example. But still, despite all that, I thought that, you know, he fought well. Like, bishop g5, this was pretty creative. I thought the guy was just going to move the knight back and get killed, so. Okay, we get d4, which means at least we could try setting up, you know, this system a little bit. Okay, we don't really need to play a6 because I'm not really, I'm not seeing a knight show up to b5. Also, I'm not too offended to play knight d7 ever, just because in case they take, I think this is okay. I think we'll start by castling, but yeah, we kind of want to go here. Goes knight there. Might just chuck in our knight here for the, you know, high percentage chance of winning a piece, but also support the knight with f5 and bring the knight in. He goes here. I feel like f6 is a extremely natural move because where is the knight going to go except back? Okay, well, he's definitely going to lose a piece here. So he must be trying to maybe get a little bit of counterplay, but he should be losing material here. But I wouldn't say that the resulting position is going to be easy or anything. But certainly, I mean, this has to qualify as a, you know, a blunder by the opponent. Okay, knight g6. I don't know what's up with that, but that's another piece for us. Okay, I think probably this makes sense. Okay, I'm gaining a lot of time here, I have to say. Let's keep everything connected. I'm a little bit hesitant to take that and open the H file. It's actually not a really big deal, but still, I maintain my hesitancy. This one, I feel like taking and playing queen g5 looks pretty tempting. I like that a lot. Mainly because of this, and Okay, f4 can be played, but it feels like the move you're not really interested in doing. I'm actually just going to play queen h5. Say, hey, you pretty much have to trade with me because your rook is hanging. And yeah, this position, we just have an extra piece, so should be no problem. Knight here, g6 if necessary. I think this is the simplest. Just defend that. Can bring something into e4. Yeah, he might want to play this, but I'm not sure that's too scary. Yeah, let's play that knight in. He goes here. It's almost like he didn't see our last move. Okay, another fork here. And this one, we'll just ignore it. No point in allowing him rook d1, for example. But yeah, we should win even more material here. That's a lot of material. GG. Now, hopefully you can at least see shades of the opening here. Right? We kind of did get the setup with black, and I went for knight e4 a little bit earlier, mainly because I'm playing with the black pieces, so I'm kind of down a move or two from a usual position I might have, and so white has much easier time of playing e4, and I really want to prevent that, so I'm like, let me just put that in early so he can't play that. He decided to try to match it, but he's not even castled. We can just kick the knight out. This is definitely a mistake, so let's say he didn't do it, and he just went back. Well, then we would just like play knight d7, play f5. All the same moves that we've talked about with the white pieces we can use here again. When you're supposed to trade on g3, it doesn't really matter, but I see a guy that isn't castling and has some stuff aimed at my king, so I'm like, well, why would I open the line? So I'm more likely to trade once he's castled, because then I know there's no danger as well. But also, I'm not likely to play this. If I'm trading, it's going to be this piece, because I want the knight in the center. I want to play f5. I want to support it. So I probably would not do that ever. Okay, we got d4 again. Okay, we got the same opening again, basically. Yeah, exact same. Okay, exact same position, I think. Literally. Am I playing the same guy? I could be playing the same guy. Okay, notice how he's threatening this. We're going to stop it. Right? I can't have the guy playing e4 against me. Definitely not. a3. Just develop. Again, don't really mind the double pawns here at all. Interesting. Well, first thing I'm gonna probably consider is queen e7, because I'm looking at bishop a3 now, of course. I mean, I'm a sucker for bishop takes a3. I think most likely takes, bishop takes a3 comes to mind, but bishop a3 you have to be, quite aware, because there's going to be a capture on e4, and I wouldn't say it's so easy after that. Like, for example, takes, bishop takes there. I wouldn't say that's a guaranteed position at all. I would not say. So I think we're actually better off just bringing this pawn into the middle. Okay, this one does seem a little bit wrong. Yeah, I'll take here mainly because it feels like we're just winning a pawn here. But, there's going to be an attack that we have to put up with. No doubt about it. Especially because the pawn's attacked. Ooh, I was going to say it's going to force my opponent to go there, but Not quite. Okay. F4 and that still counts as, I would say, pretty good move by the opponent. Pretty much have to play this one, I would say. G6. The annoying thing is he has 2 G-pawns, so let's go all the way back. Not only is Queen G7 possible, but I guess Rook F7 to defend. All the pawns are getting chucked forward here. I guess Rook to E8 does make a lot of sense. I'm also looking at this, but certainly not when that pawn can be taken, so let's just bring the Rook. Okay. And some threats. Some threats that need to be taken care of. This comes to mind, but not allowing bishop there. That's, I would say that's probably wrong. Trying to play this move. Okay, we actually just, sadly, there's a little bit of a, I mean, I guess I'm still going to do it, but that's actually annoying that that move can be played, you know? Ugh, you have to do it, but I'm telling you, it's unlucky. We're winning a piece here, but our opponent is actually benefiting because he gets to have a free attack. Okay, that, if he was going to do that, he probably should have just thrown knight takes c4 in, although our bishop would have been hitting that square, so not too bad. Amazingly, I actually feel like pretty safe here. I don't really see a threat coming, especially with a queen trade. Feels pretty nice. This is also a trade here, and this is a trade here, and trades everywhere. I'll do that just so the pawns don't connect. Yeah, I think we just push this one. I think this should get things done. GG. Well, queen trade really helps. I mean, a shame that our opponent didn't play this because it would have at least justified things a little bit more. I mean, black, I would assume, has to be better here, especially when this move can't be played. But I think it's a game still. There's still a conversation to be had about whether, like, how easily black's winning here. But yeah, up a piece like this, I feel like it has to be good enough. But yeah, long castle, definitely a bit unorthodox. Played queen e7. Honestly, probably got a little bit greedy for this idea, and a decent move by the opponent there, knight e5. I think we should have just gone f5, stuck to the normal plan here, and this was just a little bit, I think just a little bit too much, because like knight takes, we have to take back. That's no good. Knight takes, bishop takes, and like it can kind of work, but you know, even if this is a little bit playable, it's not great. Like, I don't have enough pieces to attack here. But in general, I feel like the London is not super dangerous against this, because as long as we remember to get a knight on e4, it's like absolutely key. Do not let your opponent play e4. Your system here will look so stupid if you play this. And I mean, it's playable, but it's just not interesting. You trade a bunch of pieces. Like, I'm bored already just looking at it. So in terms of maintaining intrigue in the position, I definitely think it's key not to let them push in the center. All right, white pieces. We're gonna go d4, resisting the urge to bring that bishop out. I know it doesn't make a lot of sense, but we're actually gonna block it in. It's because it goes over here instead. Okay, we can bring that bishop up. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. Queen there, because I know that my knight wants to go here anyway, is probably going to get me to put my knight there. Understandably. Jumps the knight in. I don't think I'm that concerned by that. Honestly, I feel like we can just do this. This is not the first time that someone's brought their knight in and we've just been able to boot it out. So knight g5 is actually going to lose a piece here unless he has some way out that we're not familiar with. Yeah. I can definitely see maybe some counterplay, but I think overall we should be winning this knight. Yeah, so this is what I mean. Funny thing about this move is it really makes you think about king h2 because the knight's still trapped. Like, this doesn't even untrap the knight. Takes. I mean, we can just go like queen e2 or something to bring the queen over to safety, but I have to say king h2 is a move I'll play just for the fans out there. The speed run continues. It is the opponent hangs a piece in the center of the board to our bishop speed run. Every single goddamn time. Every single time. Without fail. Your knight is still trapped, brother. Your knight has never not been trapped. It's probably spent more time trapped this game than not trapped. I don't even want to take your knight, buddy. I just want to trap it again. That's what we do around here. We trap pieces. Definitely interested in taking. I suppose we should prevent this. It looks like we're trying to win a knight here, but we're actually trying to win a knight here. Let's see if anything comes of that. It's the fake fork. You think I'm taking this, but why would I take that? It's trapped. We've already discussed this. Queen takes h7, so the knight's still trapped here. Okay, so I'll play. Should we play e4? I just want to make sure we trap that knight. Yeah, knight here is a good looking move, but I think we have to keep trying to trap the knight here. And try e4. So he's gonna have this square available. So, ooh. Yeah, that's clever by him. That's clever. Let's keep the knight trapped though. Okay, gotta take here. Okay, now this is an important square to cover here. There's checkmate, but I feel like we have to do a bit more. We need to work on that knight. Okay, we gotta recreate some threats. Check. Mate. No, but need to trap that knight. Okay, the knight's trapped now. Can't move. That's good at least. So at least, you know, I'm looking for a position where the knight can't move. Happy to end the game on that. The knight ended up living a good life in the end, you know? GG. what can we say about this? I don't know. Queen d7, developing the queen a little bit too early. We brought the knight in, we castled. And you see, by doing our knight first, whenever they try to match, we can always just boot the guy out. Like, he doesn't get to enjoy the same stuff we do. Yep, we had to checkmate him while the knight was still on the board because, remember, the threat is stronger than the execution. You've ever heard of that one? Threatening to take his knight is stronger than actually taking it. Okay, d4. And hey, we've seen the London before, haven't we? I would say this is fairly normal. Just because the knight can go here, I almost feel like playing this move. This one's definitely possible. I don't think there's anything we can really do about that. Such is the nature of playing with the black pieces here. But also, I was going to say, the guy's playing the Jobava London. Most people don't really go for that, so. h4. Well, definitely making me much less likely to castle here. All right, it is the opponent blunders a piece due to something in the center of the board, speedrun, and it continues. Yet another chapter. Probably this. We can definitely take this as well, but I don't really see the benefit. At this point, it just feels like taking everything has to be the smartest way to proceed. He castles, I'll castle. And I guess queen e7. It'd be nice if our knight was on d5 here, so that feels like the next idea, but yeah, f6. This will maybe get me a trade or two, certainly simplify. Probably this. Double the rooks. Can only expect the queen to go to e4. But yeah, this extra knight just makes the difference here. There's nothing to see. Try to take this. This looks like it will make a trade happen. Pretty reliable. And knight f4 also guards this pawn, so it seems like a pretty smart thing to do. This will cover checkmate, so I probably need something a little bit better than that. I think we can probably vacuum a few of these pawns off the board, so let's do that. Okay, pawns have been vacuumed. I think we could probably keep going here, to be honest. Looks pretty safe. Well, GG to Alvaro, 16-12. What was the opening again? We've gotten used to this now. different version of the London maybe than we've seen, but I definitely think that a knight e4 against these London robots is working pretty well. I would say about half the time, and I mean it, you guys have seen the games, about half the time they take with the knight and we win a piece. That's literally 50% of the time. So maybe even more, honestly. It is that easy. We got the white pieces. We're gonna go d4, knight out, e3, b3. Okay. Based on his system here, if I'm predicting how he's gonna play next, it looks like it's really supposed to be with this one. That's gonna make me think that, okay, we either need to play c4, knight c3. Basically, if I do my normal system, I can't get the knight in there, right? You see what I mean? Like we can't do it. So I think we need to, I kind of want to see what he's going to do. So I'm just going to develop a bit more modestly because I'm expecting he's going to try to make e5 happen. Yeah, this looks like an e5 game. If not, I mean, it could just be this, but regardless, whatever he's up to, I think, yeah, we need to play a bit more in this style, and it is, as predicted, an e5 game. So yeah, there's no knight e5 to manage. Like it just can't happen. So no need to set up our pieces like how we usually do. Instead, get a bit more space, and importantly, put the knight here because an e5 position for black means that e4 is very likely, which means that I need this square for my knight, which means I don't want to put my other knight there. That's for sure. c5. I think we have a free pawn waiting for us here, so I'm excited to take that. I'm excited to take all of that. All of that. Give me that. Keep it simple. Take and probably just play d5 and pawn storm. He's got some dark squares to play on here, so I wouldn't say that it's crushing or anything. Like, need to be a little bit careful. h3 is going to be pretty useful because it's going to control a square on g4, which he definitely wants to use. This one, I mean, there's d6, there's knight b5, but yeah, knight b5, queen b8. Not seeing anything absolutely crushing. d6 is definitely a decent move, but I'll play a bit more controlled with h3. Always useful, and I really do think controlling g4 is quite good. It's a good move, definitely. It's just a very useful square to cover, so I can totally understand that. Okay, maybe this move will happen. It certainly won't after I play this, so let's just go ahead and do it. Just so I don't have to think about b5 anymore. Okay, and I think this is the exact moment where we want to play f4. And I've set myself up with h3 to stop knight there, and rook e1 to guard e3, so that I can play bishop here, and then e4, and then e5. So I think those moves have set us up pretty nicely. And last but not least here, d6 to guard this pawn, and then I think once these pawns connect, it should be pretty tough. Because now we have a knight coming in, Even bishop to g4 looks pretty good. I'll put the knight in to guard that. Yes, we can take, but I mean, we can always take. The knight's on the side of the board. If anything, this move might threaten like g4. It's really a choose your own adventure here. Everything looks to be winning one way or another, so you just kind of have to see what move makes you happy. Queen f2 to trade also looks good. Guess we'll take now. We got 2 connected pass pawns. We got knight e7 just like waiting in the wings. We have a guy. We have a guy waiting to play bishop d4. You can tell he's just like, when is it my turn? When is it my turn? GG. It's just this position on its own should be very, very good. But I can see a lot of us rushing and just playing e4. But you just don't want to lose control of your dark squares. I think this is a great move, followed by f4. But this sets you up a bit better for maybe him playing knight e5. And then f4, bishop f3. And all of a sudden, everything finds itself on the exact right square. So, look, we're recognizing what setups our opponents are going for against the King's Indian type of setup. You've seen me in this series. We're not sitting here going here, and knight e5 because we can't. It doesn't make sense. So we kind of change. We go c4, knight c3, queen c2, bring the rooks to the middle, wait and see what the opponent's up to. Thank you for making it to the end of another episode of the Colle Zukertort speedrun. It's definitely one of the easiest attacking weapons to learn in chess, so I hope that this series is making it easier to understand. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already and turn on post notifications so you do not miss our next episode.